Alrighty, let's see if we're working. Looks like we're working to me. Sweet. Which is very sweet. So, Happy New Year. First stream and first game of the new year. We're going to do some deadzone. So, I'm going to try out using AI roles for the anime team this time. I've got a video coming out on like the basics of making your own AI roles. So I whipped up a set for the enemies today, who are going to be the Plague. These are my proto-molecule themed Plague from The Expanse. It seemed pretty fitting to do them and paint them up like the proto-molecule, considering that my GCPS are painted up like the MCRN. It seemed pretty fitting. So here's some of the GCPS guys. They were in the last video. So a little bit smaller game today. So it's only going to be 100 points versus 100 points. I've been playing 150 versus 150. But we're doing 100 points today because we're going to be trying out an AI set for the Plague. So this is my little AI rule set I've made for them. You can see it's very, very simple. I chose to do like a goal-driven AI here that basically asks the player to play them in a specific way versus like a big conditional table or dice tables or all this kind of stuff. This does mean that inherently the AI quote-unquote player is going to have an advantage because they can choose to take the least optimal selection of the options. So I've given the enemy team some special roles that are kind of thematic and should give them a pretty big advantage in combat, right? Like these are clearly roles that another player should never really be using, like in a competitive sense, but versus like an AI, they should be good because they should add a bunch of challenge, right? So the point of one of the goal-driven AIs is essentially giving you like a target and then how the enemy is going to behave in certain situations. So in this case, their goal is to get within range with their main weapon via the shortest route as possible, right? That is 100% the goal. These are, they're zombie monsters, right? They're just going to kind of charge forward and go towards the closest enemy. They're going to ignore cover. Anytime they're in melee, they're always going to choose to fight back. And they're going to ignore objectives, right? They're a mindless horde. They're zombies. They're running forward and clambering over things and anything like that, right? This means I really shouldn't be going like around terrain and stuff. They'll be going over things. And really their goal is to just, zombie shit, like to eat things and to shoot things, right? Like that's their intent here. So the AI kind of like rule or goal for that is to kind of mimic that, right? And the special rules are intended to like give extra flavor to that. So the first one is that every time a model would be taken out of play on a 6+, they survive 1 wound. In a action economy game like deadzone, that's actually super strong. Because lots of times it means that you might not have freed yourself up, or you might have not cleared the way. You have to remember the average model in deadzone moves 1-2. And that means that over a span of a 5-course game, if all they did was run, they would just make it from one side of the board to the other. And that would leave them with 2 actions in that 5-action set. So deadzone is a pretty tight action economy game, so being able to resurrect enemies is pretty powerful. The other one is out at the end of every round. On a 6+, I'm going to spawn another Plague 3Z Zombie. This is just the generic little guys. Just, the zombie horde, right? Maybe they crawled out of a dumpster or came out of one of the ruined buildings or something like that. And this, again, is pretty tough in an action economy game, especially when you think that you might have cleared the way, and then boom, there's another zombie there, or now there's one like 2 cubes away from you, stuff like that. And I'm going to use the 8x8 rolling system the same way you place items for that, because that's, I think, a good random determination for that. Even though it could mean you could randomly have an enemy zombie show up in your backline, but I mean, that in itself is actually pretty thematic, right? Like having like zombies just like burst out of cupboards and manholes and steel drums and stuff is pretty fitting there. So those are the 2 special roles they're going to have. They're all about longevity and just keeping models on the board, because the individual zombie models are not very strong. So they're not really about like particularly killing or anything like that, but just enduring and being kind of annoying. So with that's kind of my basic idea for how to do AI for deadzone. Is just sort of to make a thematic rule set with kind of themed special rules for each faction. I do think that would probably work better than a big like conditional or random result tree, because deadzone really has already a limited selection of actions, and if you have things like if you add things like disengaging or anything like that, you wind up with a situation where like randomly the enemy can do kind of like illogical things. And I think a game that is this tight on actions, I feel like that's a pretty big disservice to the AI. And something like Warcry, that's less of a problem, because just the game is kind of like you end up getting more actions and more movement and stuff like that in that game. So when the AI does something completely fucking random, like run the opposite direction from the enemy, it's not the end of the world. It's more impactful here, just because this game tends to be tighter than that. So really went with like the kind of like goal driven, like you play as the AI but just play with a specific goal in mind versus however you want to play, versus conditional or tables or dice tables or anything like that. I could have used cards really well. I think would work actually super good for deadzone, but the problem is that I just don't feel like making cards, right? Like cards have this really big overhead for creation, where you have to make up a bunch of cards, print them out, and either put them in sleeves with other cards so they're nice and stiff, or yada yada yada. It's a big pain in the tail, so I really didn't want to do that, because if you end up just rolling on a table, which is essentially what cards are with a single draw versus completely random options, you essentially have the same thing as a dice table, but the speed and tactility of the cards themselves adds a lot to that system versus a dice table. So, all right, so we're going to be playing with them goal. They have some special abilities. They've got goals. They are good to zombie up their way across the board and try to eat our poor MCRN. That being said, they're clearly not going to play objectives because they're fucking zombies. And the NCRN in this game, I've got 3 objectives on the board that all got randomly placed. The same way I've randomly placed items. Their job is to just take those objectives. They have to hold them for a turn and then they're theirs. If they end up getting them all, they win. If not, ripperoonie. So we've got one here, which is actually really close to their deployment zone, because I've deployed in each corner opposite from each other. We've got one a little further in, and then there's one actually in the zombie deployment zone, which happened completely randomly, but I thought was pretty funny and awesome, so I figured I'd leave it. But yeah, that should be good. So with that, let's do our rolls that I always forget about, which is the command roll. Oh wait, we have to do recon roll, right? God, I always forget about recon roll. All right, let's do recon roll. Excuse me for a second while I break out all the deadzone rulebooks. All right. What is the recon roll? Man, I can never remember what the hell the recon roll is. I remember it existed this time though, so that's a benefit, right? Ba 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 ba. I already picked my scenario. Let's see. Recon table. We're making a recon test at the start of each game. Instead of just knowing who wins the roll, also note the difference in the number of successes rolled by each player. The winner of the recon test then rolls that many dice, up to a maximum of 3, consulting the recon effects table. Roll for all the effects you're entitled to. All right. Cool. All right. So let's see what everybody's recon value is. I got my lists here on my phone. I do really like the Mantic app. It's really nice. It's a little slow, but like everything makes sense where it is, which is really good and a lot better than like say the Games Workshop app, which is pretty cool. Still not as nice as the one-page rolls app. That's still like the king of game apps in my opinion. The coding for that is also fantastic. Whoever did that did a bang up job. All right, let's roll some dice. We've got blue for my blue zombies and red for my Martian dudes. Let's see. Martian dudes got a 4. Zombies got a... Man, math is hard on the first day of the new year. They got a 12. So my guys are not going to get a recon roll. I'm not going to give an event. I'm not going to like give a recon roll for the zombies because most of the recon rolls are like, look at an item, and if I flip over items, then I know what they are too. So kind of defeats the purpose, you know. All right, let's do some initiative. Boom, boom. Dice, same colors. Let's see. We got a 13 for the Martians, and we got a 6 for the Zombos. So the Martians are going to be going first. Also, we get to roll some extra dice for the Martians. So they're going to get 2 extra random activations, 2 free moves, and a splat. I think their splat like lets them activate a bunch of guys together, which is kind of neat. All right, so Martians get to go first. You know what? I always forget to use those command dice, so we're gonna use a bunch of them right off the freaking bat. So we're gonna use one of the free moves, and we're gonna move this guy up. And then we're going to move him 2 more. Boonk, boonk. And he's going to be up inside this building right here, which is right near that objective. If the model doesn't randomly roll away. Don't randomly roll away, buddy. There we go. And then over to the Zombos. So, their goal... just get into combat and murder and zombie it up. So, actually haven't played the zombies yet, so we have to look up what their speed is. I'm assuming it's a 1-2. Everything in its brother is 1-2. Unless you're some kind of special thing. Oh, wow. The ghouls have 2-3, and so do the zombies. Wait, are regular humans supposed to have 2-3? Did I screw that up? No, the corporate marines are 1-2. Wow, man, the ghouls are a lot more mobile than I thought they'd be. Interesting. Okay, all right. Well, you know what we're gonna do? I've got a zombie dog here. My, like, proto-molecule pit bull. And he's just going to do double move, right? Because his goal is to get as close as possible. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then we're going to go over here and get ourselves a 3. Right? He's hauling ass all the way across the board, wound up right there, smack dab in the middle. And then we're back over to the humans. So I'm going to use one of these extra activation dice. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to move this guy 1, 2 here so I can see what that item is. It's a... What the hell kind of... Oh, it's armor piercing bullets. That's cool. And then for the extra activation dice, I'm going to do this dude, right? And this guy has a 2, 3. So he's going to go 1, 2. And... yeah, you know what? He's going to try to shoot that dog. Oops, sorry. He's going to try to shoot the dog. That's what he's going to do. So there he is, right there. And there's Mr. Doggo. So we've got height advantage, and I would argue a completely open shot. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to have 3 dice for regular attack, 1 dice for height advantage, and then 2 more dice for regular shot. Roll that, see what we get. I got a 2, a 3, a 4, more 4s, a 1, and an 8. I think this guy is actually a 5. Let's check. He is a ranger. Yep, so he's ranged 5+. So the only hit we have is that 8, which we'll also get to re-roll because of exploding 8s, and I got another 4. That would have been a great roll if he was 4+. So 1 damage into the doggo. Doggo's going to get to save on 3 dice. He rolled an 8, so he's fine. Well, good attempt, Mr. Ranger. Good attempt. Alright. Back down to our zombie friends here. We're going to... You know what? We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, 1, 2 is what they are, right? So 1, 2. Just the dog is 2, 3. And the guys with the guns are 2, 3. That's what we're going to do there. And we're going to go back to our rangers. Yeah, you know what? He's going to move up. He's going to take a shot at the dog through the cover there. Alright, so we're looking at 3 dice. Hitting on 5s. I got 1 5. Doggo gets another 8, so he is fine. That is one dodgy doggo. Alright, back to the zombos. Boop, boop. They're going to move up and be friends. And then, man, we were just spinning all over the place. Hello! And we're back to some humans. This guy's going to go through this damaged hole in the wall here, and then he's going to move himself again. I'll try to get him into position to get the icon next turn. And we'll go back to the bombos. And we'll do 1, 2 with his standard. And you know what? He's a sentient ghoul, so he'll pick that up. He does not really have a good shot at anything, so we'll go ahead and just move him up again. He's just going to be strolling down Main Street. There he goes. He's going to take his ammo with him. And then over to our last MCRN guy, which is our big ogre suit here. It's just going to go through the door, and it's going to go through the door again. Yeah, you know, it's going to go here, and then... Yeah, why not? It'll go by the weird love vending machine. And that is it for the MCRN, so we can knock out the zombos pretty quick. His first turn is usually just all crazy movement. So, ooh, crazy wiggly camera. Sorry. Okay, so this guy is going to be my burster model. Because I think having a burster is kind of cool in the team, and he's pretty unique looking 3Z ghoul. I think he looks like he could be a good burster. So he's just going to move twice. Bonk. Bonk, which isn't really moving twice, it's just running. And then we will do pretty much the same with this guy. And this guy. And that guy. Let's see, we're going to move the commander, same thing, except he's going to go this way. So 1, 2, 3, and then these guys, 1, 2, 3 over there, and then his buddy's pretty much going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, as they try to move forward. So all of our zombies have done that. I forgot to use the goddamn command dice again. So you know what? No, I forgot. That's shitty. I need to remember. So I'll miss those cool actions. Oh well. We'll get them next time. We'll get them next time. Alright, now we're going into turn 2. Let's roll to see if the proto-molecules guys get themselves another buddy. Gonna roll. I got a 1, so they do not. Alright. And there we go, into turn 2. Let's get ourselves some initiative rocking and rolling. That is going to be a 12 versus a 7, so our Martian boys are going first. Okay. All right. Bonk. All right, so we're going to do this guy here first. This is that little guy. He's going to move up here. Right, and hold that objective. Now, each one of my standard MCR and troopers, they all have 1 extra ammo on them. So he's going to go ahead and he's going to eat his ammo, and he's going to dump it all into that proto-molecule guy right down there. All right, so that's one of the guys with the guns, and he's just going to dump all his shots into him. So we're looking at 3 shots for standard, 2 shots for open without 5 and 1, so nothing. And that is him done. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this guy down here. He's going to move up onto the objective so he can hold it and try to claim it. And then he's going to shoot down at that Zombo down there by that sign. Definitely not a clear shot. No range elevation, so we're only getting 3s here, hitting on 5s. 1, a 2, and a 5. Zombie save it. 2, 2, and 4. Nope, he takes 1 point wound. Well, I'm going to imagine that zombie's not too particularly happy about that. So he's going to move up and he's going to do the same right back, but he's got an HMG, which gives him some kind of thing. It gives him suppression and way to fire 1. So way to fire 1 means that I can what does rapid fire do? Hold on 1 sec. I gotta look up what rapid fire does. Okay, with rapid fire you can choose to blaze away, which would cause them to be pinned, but do no damage. So we're not going to do that. So he has suppression and way to fire 1. So we're looking at 3 dice, and he gets to re-roll 1 of these. So We got a 5, a 4, and a 7. He, I'm assuming, is a 6+ like the other guys. He is, so that is 1 hit plus a reroll. Another 7, so 2 hits. And this guy's going to take a pin marker if he survives. He got a 5 and an 8. I think his survival is 5. Let's go double check. So I think he's probably fine. Corporation Marine. Yep, 5+. Okay, so he's fine. Doesn't take any damage. But he is going to be pinned. So let's find ourselves a nice marker to be pinned. Oh, that'll do. So he is pinned. So that means he's going to lose an action next time he activates, basically. All right. Well, I think we're going to do Mr. Sniper Man up here, because I think if that doggo gets to anybody, it's going to be a bad time for that person, because these guys suck at melee. So he's going to shoot into the doggo again. So we're going to look at 3 dice, +2 for clear, +1 for height. And we're looking at 5s. So that's 4 hits. Doggo got an 8 and a 5. Either way, I think the doggo has 2 life, which means the doggo would be gone. Yep, 2 life, so doggo is gone. Let's do our survive roll for the doggo, see if he stays on the board. On a 6, he does on 1 wound. Wow, they've been lucky with this. Damn, maybe that's too strong. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, you know, we might as well activate the doggo now. He can... You know what? He's going to go ahead and he's going to charge pretty much the closest guy. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Charging into my leader. Right there. Also, I think this gun was supposed to have AP on it. I totally forgot. Frenzy 1, which I think means he gets an extra dice for being in charge range. So let's double check that. Because he charged, I think, means he gets extra dice with Frenzy. Oh, no, he just gets to re-roll X number of dice when making a fight test. Nice, so he'll get his extra dice for the charge, and then he'll get to re-roll 1. We got a 7 and 2 8s, so it's going to be 3 hits. And then 7 and 2 5s. I'm assuming his fight's a 5. Yep. So we are looking at 5 damage, plus we get to re-roll 1, which was a 6. So we are looking at 6 damage going into my boss. He's going to choose to fight back. I should have chosen that beforehand, but he's going to try it. I think it's not going to work, but we're going to try. 2 5s and a 3. Doesn't matter. Doggo jumps on him and chooses throw it out. RIP MCRN, like investigator guy. Doggo has killed you. Ripperoonie. Okay, so let's do some of the zombos over here. Oh no, I guess we have a human guy next, right? So let's see. You've gone. You have not gone. So... You know what, that guy right there, he's just going to use his armor piercing shot. He's going to shoot down at that guy. So we're looking at 3 dice with 1 AP plus 2 for clear. That is 2 hits. The Bombo would make 1 save, so he's going to take 1 point of wound. And since he has already come back from the dead once, he is off the board. Okay. Oof. Big oof. I should mark the other guy that has come back from the dead. That would be the doggo. So we'll use the smoke marker to indicate that his resurrection is spent, I guess. Okay, that guy used his armor piercing ammo, so we can throw that away. He's going to get charged by the doggo no matter what next turn. So yeah, we're just going to have him back up. Actually, you know what? No, he's going to go forward. He's going to go forward. Okay. So, who do we got left? We've got big armor suit for our guys, and that's about it for the Martian boys. Zombies got a lot left, so let's do some of those up. So, 1 and 2 for the plague burster, and then we're over to our big guy again. Okay. Crap. Well, big guy here is going to move his 1. Bonk. Get right up in there. And he's just going to dump his minigun down into that guy down there. So that is going to be 3 shots plus 2 for unobscured. I'm assuming the minigun has weight of fire. I'm going to need to check that because I rolled all 1s and 1 7. Ouch. It's got weight of fire 2, so let's re-roll 2 of those because big ouch. Alright, got a 5. And I got another 7. Alright. 3 hits going into that guy. Can he save him? Let's see. Nope, he's going to take 2 points of damage and he is going to go down. Does he stand back up? On a 6? He does not. The big ogre suit just opens up that Gatling gun and turns him to paste. That's good at least. Got another guy off the board. And it looks like we'll take 2 of the 3 objectives, so that third one's going to be really freaking hard. Because of the fact it's in the enemy deployment zone. Alright. So let's move up some of these guys. We got a 2-3 move to here. We got 1-2, 1-2 over here. They're zombies, so they're not going to pay attention to the item. Over here, we've got a whole bunch of zombies. So it's going to be 1-2, 1-2. And then 1-2, 1-2. And then 1-2, 1-2. There they are. So, state of the board for the end of turn 2. The zombies creep forward. We've taken 2 of them off, but lost our boss. I forgot to do my command dice again. We'll remember in turn 3. Well, we've taken 2 of them off, but the zombies continue to encroach. Yeah, doing pretty good. So let's roll our dice and see if our zombies get a extra guy. On an 8, they do. Where does he spawn in at? He spawns in at 4-3. So counting from the player edge in, we're going to have an extra zombo. 4-3. Show up right there. So, I guess he was roused to life by the Gatling gun going off right next to his face. Alright, and then into the next turn. So I'm going to lose a command dice. I've got an action, 2 free shoots, and a splat. Splat's pointless, but the 2 free shoots are great. We will keep those. And then let's roll some initiative. Looks like the proto-molecule is going first. Poop. All right. So, what are we gonna do? Well, we should do the doggo. That's what we should do. So it doesn't. Nobody has a chance to like shoot it. So it's gonna charge into our buddy here under the triple X sign, and that's gonna give it 4 attacks with its frenzy as well. There they are, right there, being friends under the triple X sign. So it's looking at 4 attacks, 3 plus 1 for the charge. And it has frenzy. So we got an 8 on the reroll, and then that became a 6. So we're looking at 4 damage going into our dude. Our dude's going to choose to fight back. He has to roll an 8 or this is not going to work. He did. However, it was not enough. So he is gone. No. Man, that dog is doing work for the protomolecule. That's really bad. Alright, well, since the objective is over, we claimed this one, and we would have claimed this one over here as well. So we would have claimed 2 of the 3 objectives, which is pretty darn good. Because I think my guys are going to be just super overwhelmed now. But that's kind of the point of the plague. Don't know how I'm going to get to the last one that's in their starting zone, but we will do our best. Alright. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to use one of those free shoot actions. Right? And we're going to take McFlyboy here. And he's going to go 2-3 over here. And then he's going to shoot into the HMG guy. So with his free shoot action, which is going to be 3 shots. If I don't throw my dice on the floor. We're looking at a 5, a 1, and a 3, so it could be 1 hit. But the guy's going to save it, so it doesn't matter. Alright, and then we're going to pop our other dice. And we are... Can I only use 1 in activation? Fuck, I think I can only use 1 in activation. Poopy. Yeah, I think I can. Damn it. Okay, we're not going to use that yet then. Alright, and then we're over to the protomolecule. So HMG guy is going to shoot into our trooper back here. Right, into our poor trooper who's behind the cover there. So it's going to be 3 shots from the protomolecule. 4, 4, and a 7, that's 1 hit. 8, 6, and 5, so he saves it and it's fine. Alright. Well, I'm going to go ahead and... We're going to use that free shoot dice. And what we're going to do is we're going to have Mr. Gatling Gun move up 1. And then he's just going to lay down some goddamn fire onto those 2 fools all the way at the end there. These 2 right here. So he'll do his first shot into them. So it's going to be 3 dice. It's unfortunately not unobscured. But he does have weight of fire, so that's pretty good. So 3 dice into them. He gets to roll his rate of fires. So it's going to be 3 hits. Let's see, do they save? They have 1 save, so one of them is going to take 1 point damage. Alright, so we'll do the closest one here is going to take 1 point of damage. And then, because I want to delete something, he's going to use his non-free shoot action to shoot into the protomolecule thing that's just right next to him. So 5 dice. And we're looking at 4 hits. And we are looking at 2 saves. 2 points of damage. They are still gone. Let's roll. They unfortunately stand back up with a 1. That standing back up roll is actually really tough. The points of playtesting, I guess, huh? Yeah, we might have to change that. That's actually really, really tough. Okay, well, back over to them. So I guess let's do the lady that just got murdered or should have been turned to paste. She's going to charge in. She's going to attack. We're going to look at 3 attacks there. Hitting on what I'm assuming are 5s. Yep, so we got 2 hits going into the ogre suit. Ogre suit's going to fight back. He got 2 hits back. What happens when they're equal? Hold on. What happens when you have 2 fight backs but they're equal? Oh, draw. Nothing happens and the assault is over. Okay. Okay. Well, you know what? This guy here is going to move up. He's going to see what this item is. It's armor-piercing bullets. You know what? He might as well use it down on that guy. Might as well. So we're looking at unobscured, 3 shots, unobscured, and height advantage, and armor-piercing bullets. So we are looking at, wow, 1 hit. 1 hit. That's very sad. They're saving it and they're fine. All right. Well, over to the proto-molecule now, who have just ridiculous amounts of like number advantage. So we'll go ahead and we'll do 1, 2, 1, 2. These 2 guys are both going to move into this building, and then next time they're going to try to climb up it. The burster is going to move into this thing here with his buddy, but he's a zombie. He doesn't give a shit about his allies, and he's going to fucking explode because that's what bursters do. So we are going to look at, let me check the rules, just using the app. And our burster buddy, he has a AP1, it burns. It burns as a 3 test at 4 damage, right? Just like, it's basically like a flamethrower. Three dice, range test X. Okay. Oh, is he like doing a vomit? Is it like a versus like a? Oh, yeah, I guess it is like a vomit attack. Yeah, because see, it doesn't say like boom or whatever like the dogs do when they suicide. It says it burns. So I guess he's like vomiting acid up instead. Interesting. Okay, well that model fits even better then, to be honest. I thought he was going to explode. Like I thought he was like a suicider model. Okay, cool. Alright, so range 6+, 3-shot attack to everything in the cube, including himself, because I had him walk into the cube. Because I thought he was an exploding model, but he is actually a very short range flamethrower. So 3-shot attack to everything in the cube. So we're looking at 5, 4, and 2. So actually none of those hit, but everything in the cube is now lit on fire. So when it goes to activate, it needs to see if it's still lit on fire. So everybody in there is on fire. I'm pretty sure that happens when they activate next. You check fire. Whenever assault of attack, a model with a fire marker must attempt to put out the fire when it is activated. It's a free special action the model must take, but will not count towards its normal action. The fire roll is 3 dice plus 4. Okay. So next time they activate, they're going to have to try to put themselves out of fire because they all lit themselves on fire. Okay, good to know. Okay. Well, the doggo went and killed a guy. So those two went. We'll move this guy up again as well and have him just rush in. I guess HMG guy here is going to shoot at our boy that was holding that objective earlier. So we're looking at 3 shots. I got an 8. Got a 4, so it's going to be 1 shot. 1 hit. MCRN save it. He does. Alright, and this guy, he's going to charge in there. That is their boss. Okay. So he's got Frenzy, and he's a 5+ fight. Okay. So we're looking at 4 attacks because of the charge. Rerolling 1, so he gets 1 hit. Our guy's going to elect to fight back. He also got 1 hit, so that's going to equal out. Well, next up, that poor Sod's going to get charged again by this other zombie. So we're looking at 4 more dice going into him. We're looking at 1 hit, 2 hits. My guy's going to fight back. He didn't get any results. RIP MCRN guy. Well, the MCRN are not doing particularly well. Then this guy, I guess, is going to go 1-2, try to get to the Ranger. Let's see. HMG guy shot. Those 3 attacked. Everything over here happened. Those guys all moved. Got anybody else floating around? I certainly hope not, for the MCRN's sake. All right. Okay, now we're into turn 3. All right, free action, 2 free shoots. Oh. Then we've got the proto-molecule going first. Oh, man, my guts are really upset. Okay, proto-molecule going first. You know what? Let's do the doggo. Why not? Doggo's going to charge in. Right? And that's going to give him 4 attacks into the armored suit. We are looking at 4 hits. Oh, fuck. My guts are really upset. That's unfortunate. 1 save. It would be 3 damage in. Oh, man. Okay. Well, we've been playing for 50 minutes. I'm going to have to call it because I'm going to have to run to the bathroom. My guts are mega upset. Holy shit. But yeah, playing the AI with a goal intended roll seems to work pretty good. The roll of them coming back from the dead does not. It is very, very... it is tough. It makes it very tough to remove things in a game that has this tight of an action economy. So I'm going to have to tweak that and come up with a different roll for them. But, just to show off the rules again, this is kind of the rule set I made. And my goal is really to make some kind of rule set like this and then play test it for every faction. The MCRN here are just fucked. They took 2 of the things, and now there's basically no way for them to be able to get to the 3rd one. As it's too far away, and they have not been able to clear, because everything they would have shot down got back up. But I'm going to have to run to the bathroom because my guts are mega upset. Holy shit. But thank you guys for watching. Nice little quick one. I'll be back with more AI roles. And we'll tweak them and try to make them so they're a little more even, because I think the mob standing back up is just kind of unfair. But, alright, going to call